Hey drummers, how's it going? It's Alex once again, bringing you some more fun-free drumming ideas. For this week, I've got a cracking lesson for you sort of beginner to intermediate level players. The idea behind this, we're going to get a really simple groove, boom, tick, snare, tick, boom, tick, snare, tick. We're then going to take those hi-hats, which are playing 8th notes, and then we're going to sort of subdivide those into 16th note triplets. You get this. Once we've got used to that, we're then going to take that particular pan, chuck it around the kit. It's all in 4/4. It's going to sound great. We're going to get the toms involved. We're still going to try and keep the hi-hats playing on like the and of each beat as well. Some of you may recognize the groove that we eventually go into from like my first or second ever video up here on YouTube. But if you've sort of like joined the channel in the last sort of 8 years or so, then this will be brand new to you. So if you like what you saw in the intro and you want to give this one a crack, stick around and I'll break it down. Here we go. Okay, so if you've played the drums before, you can probably do this. Counting it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bass drum on 1 and 3, snare drum beats 2 and 4, and then the right hand playing ostinato, which is just like a pattern being played over and over again, playing 8th notes, just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and easy. I'm not going to spend any time on that. What we're going to try and do is learn how to go from that groove into playing 16th note triplets up on the hi-hat. So we're going to have to use our right hand to hit the snare drum on beat 2 and 4 to provide our backbeat, and the right hand's going to land with the kick on beats 1 and 3. We're playing single strokes, so it should come out a bit like this: 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet. Obviously we want to speed it up a tiny bit. 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1. That's what we're going for at first. It sounds really nice when you swap between the two. I'll just play that now and then we'll break it down. I'll give you a few little tips. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1. Completely missed the hi-hat on one of those, but you get the point. The main thing we're going to be looking at here is as you're playing your 16th note triplets, it's just 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to count it like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, you can alternate between hitting the bass drum on beat 1 of your group of 6 and then your snare drum on beat 1 of your group of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can kind of hear me doing it now. We're just going to sort of ever so slightly accent number 4. And that's going to keep that and note intact. So as we're playing it, if we're counting it 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, that and is where your hi-hat would be if you were playing this groove. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we keep that there within the groove. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet. And to get that, all we do is just flick that wrist. It's always going to be your left hand if you're right-handed. Obviously, swap that round if you're left-handed. And all we're doing is we're going to be going 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet. So I'm using the tips of the sticks for all the sort of like triplets, and then for the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s, and all the ands, I'm just giving a bit more of a flick. I'm actually catching the hi-hat just on the edge, and that'll make these notes just stand out a tiny bit more. Let's speed that up a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. By the time you get the hang of it, just count the 1 and 2 and 3 and even when you're playing those 16th note triplets. It's a really good exercise as well for getting your hands working together, and it's a little bit different than playing a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. It's got a slightly different vibe. It sort of flows differently, and it's got that sort of nice bouncy, almost a bit of swing to it feel. All right, so once you've got those two down, we're going to take this idea and we're going to have some fun orchestrating it around the kit. Now what we're going to do, we'll start off just by playing the same pattern between the floor tom and the high tom. Right hand on the floor, left hand on the high tom, swap that around if you're left-handed. So we get Again, notice I'm still doing that little flick of the wrist just to get a little bit more volume at my high tom. The rest of the toms I'm playing quite softly. Okay, I'm not walloping them. We want to get that nice warm tone that's going to come from the drums that you'll get if you just tap them quite softly and just let the skins resonate and create that nice warm sound for you. Now, let's do something a bit more snazzy. We're going to try and keep that left hand going to the hi-hat on the and of each beat. So that would just be where we were doing that flick of the wrist on the high tom. So 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet. This sounds cool if you can speed it up. Gave away what we're going to do next. Once we've hit that snare drum, we're going to keep our left hand up on that hi-hat, and that's going to give us this little tick, floor, tick at the end. So it's going to land on 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet. So it's going to land on the and the let, as we see, and triplet, and it sounds really nice when you start getting this mixed in with all the toms. So let's go over that again. 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, bang. Speed that up. Now, if we want to add like a little bit more texture to this and create a bit more variety, we'll play one round normally. So just 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet. We'll go into it a second time and we're going to make one small adjustment. When we get to our and triplet, right at the end of beat 4, we're going to sort of take the last hi-hat we play and just open it slightly, and it's going to close as we hit that bass drum. So you get this. All right, and if we wanted to, we could use that little open hi-hat to get us back to the hi-hat. So if we wanted to go back to here, I'll demonstrate it. I'm waffling, here we go. Okay, just create something a little bit different and makes it sound really nice. What I'll do is I'll get this little 2-bar loop. Everything's exactly the same apart from that little beep on the hi-hat on the second round. So here we go. The key to making this one sound nice is to make sure that you're not hitting the toms too loud. Okay, so it's all about dynamics. Once you get the pattern down, you're quite comfortable, then just take a minute to think about the levels at which you're playing each part of the drum kit. Because like obviously the drums, like the toms sound differently, like depending on how hard I'm going to hit each one. Same with the hi-hat. If I hit it on the edge, hit it on the top, you've got to start thinking about these little extra things that are going to, these little tiny details that are going to make the difference between sounding like, say, a beginner drummer to an intermediate drummer, then an intermediate drummer to a more advanced level drummer. So just start paying attention to that when you start feeling settled within the groove you're playing. So let's now go all the way from our standard groove, boom, tick, snare, tick, boom, tick, snare, tick. We'll then bring in the 16th note triplets up on the hi-hat, and then we'll go straight from there down to our groove on the toms. And then once I've done that little, I'll go back to the hi-hat. So here we go. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Back to the beginning. If I wanted to, I could settle on each of these a bit longer. So let's do 2 bars each. And then I could go around again. Of course, once you get all that down, you can have a little bit more fun adding like different snare drum hits, like change the bass drum pattern. Because at the moment we're just going boom, gat, boom, and just concentrating on subdividing those 8th notes into 16th note triplets. But once you get settled with this particular groove, start adding like a few more kicks. You can have some real fun with that. We're not going to go into it because this is mainly for sort of beginner to intermediate. But if you do like this, leave a comment below, and then we can sort of take this particular idea to the next level and come up with some really cool stuff. All right, so that is the whole sequence, and that's the idea behind it. Boom, tick, snare, tick, boom, tick, snare, tick, getting that little open hi-hat there really does make a difference. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop up there, demonstrate it at a few different speeds where you can actually see the floor tom, because looking in the camera, I can't see it there. So you get a better view, and we'll go through it nice and slow, then a bit quicker, and then nice and fast. And then I'll come and say goodbye. So here we go. Okay, first up, nice and slow, I'm going to play one measure of the groove just with the 8th notes on the hi-hat, one measure of the 16th note triplets. Then when we get over to the toms, the exciting one, I'll go around that a couple of times, and then I'll go back and play the whole thing again very slowly. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3, on the sharp. Let's now go medium tempo, same sort of thing. Here we go. That sounds cool. Right, let's go a bit faster. Obviously, I can't go stupidly fast because the difference between 8th notes and 16th note triplets is quite a lot. So we'll see how we go on. Here we go. Alright drummers, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. It's a great little idea to get a bit more mileage out of just like your basic groove, then learning how to subdivide those hi-hats into 16th notes. Then if you can start moving it around the time, you can bring the bell of the ride in, maybe some splashes, that would sound great as well. If you want them sheet music for this particular lesson, there's a link down below that will take you straight to it, and you can print it off, download it for free. If you want, come and check out my website. If you like the content and the things we're doing here, if you sign up for £5 a month or £50 a year, you're going to get obviously all the lessons that come out on YouTube. You're going to get double that because every other week I do a lesson which is exclusively for the website. So consider checking it out, even if it's just for a month or so. You'll have all that time to go over the back catalogue, and we're breaking down songs and stuff like that. All right, if you want to find me, there's Facebook, there is Twitter, there is Instagram, and there's obviously the message board on my website. It'd be great to see you over there. And yeah, I'm done. Take care, keep drumming, and I'll see you soon for some more fun free drumming ideas. All right, see you later. Bye.